So John MacArthur's Shepherds Conference, which was scheduled for March 3rd through 5th, 2021, has been postponed as of yesterday, Friday, February 12th. And this is what the website says for the Shepherds Conference. Conference postponed. In light of our ongoing litigation and recent threats from the County of Los Angeles and the State of California, we have decided that the most prudent course of action at this time is to postpone the Shepherds Conference. We will be deposing the key health officers and county officials and requiring them to answer for their oppressive actions under oath, and requesting all documents and information supporting their arbitrary attempts to restrict our religious liberty as a church. Our church leadership remains firmly committed to the truth that Christ is the head of the church, and we will not yield to government's infringement upon the biblical command to worship and gather together. We intend to steadfastly defend this truth and obtain appropriate constitutional and legal protections and further relief from the court. So this postponement came Friday, February 12th, and earlier that day, I believe it was, there was this LA Times article talking about the Shepherds Conference. It said LA Church to host indoor conference of 3,000 attendees despite public health order. And this is dated February 12th, 2021, 6 a.m. Pacific time. In the article, it does say public health officials have expressed concern that the conference could pose a hazard to the region. The church is located in an area that continues to have among the highest case rates of COVID-19 within the county, and neighbors have held protests after Sunday services pleading with churchgoers to wear masks. Though the Supreme Court recently ruled that indoor services are permitted under certain restrictions, county health officials said that the event doesn't qualify as a worship service and rather is a conference and thus prohibited under the county's public health order. So it seems that this article from Friday put some pressure on the organizers of the Shepherds Conference ultimately to postpone the event. And it does say actually in another LA Times article from 16 hours ago as of the time I'm reading this, after COVID-19 outcry, LA Church postpones conference for 3,500. It says a megachurch in Sun Valley that has previously defied Los Angeles County's COVID-19 public health orders is postponing plans to hold an annual conference in March that health officials feared could become a super spreader event. The announcement on Friday by Grace Community Church said the move was taken because of threatened legal action by state and county officials. The move came after the Times published a story about the concerns expressed by public health officials. So it does seem from what this article is indicating that the church and the leaders of the Shepherds Conference were concerned about legal action being taken against them for having this conference. One of the reasons I've been really interested in this whole situation, I was even planning to attend this conference, is because of John MacArthur's legal situation with the government of California. And their church has continued to be open in spite of government restrictions, and they've really had a lot of victories in their case. However, in this case, I can see that it gets to be really thorny because it is not technically a church gathering, it is a conference. And also you're talking about bringing a lot of people in from out of state. So that becomes a lot more legally a thorny issue. It is really disappointing, I'm sure, to a lot of people. I'm disappointed. It would have been interesting to go to that conference and hear the content of what they were going to be talking about, defining evangelicalism and reclaiming that term. However, you can understand where they're coming from. There is a lot of pressure in this situation, and could be a lot of legal consequences if they host the conference at this time. So what they're basically saying is that they are choosing to postpone the conference. I'm really interested to hear what my audience thinks about this situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Just try to keep those comments constructive and helpful to conversation. But thank you so much for listening to this little report brought to you from A Frisch Perspective.